Barbecue Church family? What's going on? Hope y'all doing all right out there in them streets. I'm at home right now. I'm sitting in my living room. I got the fireplace on. It's a little cold. It's just been cooling down, baby. So normally I would be in Orlando, but that government shut down them air shows. And if the military ain't flying, people aren't showing up. So the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds, none of them. So, and then and then they're not doing any of the static displays, like the C-130s that are on the ground and the Ospreys on the ground. They're not doing any of that. So I would be in Orlando right now, but I'm not. So I'm home, which is actually, if I'm being honest, a blessing. Mandy had knee surgery last week, and just shaving down some cartilage or something like that. But she can't really walk, so she's staying at her mom's. But because she got one floor, it's easy to get around, and I got all these stairs here. So it's kind of nice because I'm able to be home and, take care of these kids and get them back and forth to school, all that stuff. Yeah, this new smoker, though, Big Lucille, she bad, boy. She bad. I loaded her up with chicken, like as much chicken as I could possibly put on her, which was a lot. Found those designated hot spots, which was nice. Able to move it around. If you use a smoker, use a grill, you have to find your hot spots and find where things cook, and then you have to move them around and let them get that smoke and then move them around so they're done. So I was doing that. I did a pork butt yesterday, my first pork butt on there. Did a bunch of ribs last week. The pork butt I did overnight, and the smoker has a dry feature where it'll hit a certain temp, and then you can tell it when you hit the stall. Crank the smoker to 250 to 275 to push it through the stall. Like, you can do that, which is pretty exquisite. So it's dope. And you can push it through the stall, and then you can have it drop back down after that, and then continue to power through low and slow, or you can keep it hot. And then once it hits temp, you can actually break it down and say, okay, and then drop down to 180 and just sit at 180 and keep it hot, like keep it warm, Pretty cool smoker. So I got to play around with that a little bit. What I'm preaching today, like the thought, man, I had a situation where business wise we're moving forward and some other stuff. If I got like 8 jobs, but this one corporate job, I'm dealing with some pretty big deals, and I had one big company that I thought would pull through and be the first to really, really land. They actually want to postpone for like 6 months. And when they talked about it, man, it hit me hard. And you start to feel that sink in your stomach, like, bro, this would have been huge had they just jumped in, It's a whole thing. So, so I was a little messed up about it. My homie called, we started talking, and then the scripture came up, and it hit my heart so hard. I was like, yo, let's talk on this. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's a lot of people, like there's times where we go through these things, and it's rough, man. You don't know what to do. You don't, like, so when you're out there and you just feel like you're in a dry place, like you feel like you're all alone, you feel like, like in your heart, you don't feel like you're in a place of just flourishing. You don't feel like the things are all working out. Like, you just feel a little off. And even though you can be around people and you can be alone, stuff like that. So if you look at Isaiah 43:19, God says, for I'm about to do something new. I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in dry wasteland. God is saying, even in the wilderness, I'm going to direct you. And he says, and I will create a river in the wasteland. I will provide what this dry place does not have. I will provide what is not natural in these dry places. God says, I will bring that provision. Without water, we'll die pretty quick. We'll dehydrate out and it'll mess us up. But he's going, I will provide a river. I'll provide provision in that place. I'll provide life in that place. So we can feel like we're in a place where nothing is growing, where the things aren't moving, where you're just out there just hot and dusty and messed up. And the thing is this, God doesn't need ideal conditions. He just creates ideal conditions. He's not relegated to what is in the natural. He's not relegated to even what we believe and what we think, because God can do supernatural things. And we have to believe that. We have to honor that. And we have to think it through. God makes rivers where there shouldn't be any rivers. And even if you have burned down places in your heart and burned down things in your life, those are still areas that God can still move, that God can still flourish, that God can still breathe life into. In Isaiah 35, it says, springs will gush forth in the wilderness. John 7:38 says, rivers of living water will flow from his heart. The desert isn't a punishment place, it's a place of preparation. We go out into the desert. When Jesus went out and fasted and he was praying, he went to the desert. He went into a dry place to pray, to prepare, to get ready for the ministry that he was about to do. They test your faith, it tests your faith, it strips your comfort, and it reveals who your source truly is. And that's the thing that was hitting me, is God isn't going to let anybody else take credit for what he's doing in your life. And we have to give God credit for who he is and what he does in our lives. Not us taking credit, not anyone else over here taking credit, not this person, not our boss. Who is your source? Your source is God. He brings the water. He brings the substance. He brings the sustenance. He provides. And a lot of times we'll be like, well, I did this. I made this happen. God made it possible for you to be there. In my situation, God is going to move. And he showed me he's going to do it. He's going to provide a way. He's provided provision. When Elijah was out here running, birds were bringing this dude food. That's not normal. A bird just pull up like, hey, fam, I got this meat for you. Blow, run it, eat this. It's not normal. God is not bound by normal things, by what we deem normal. Remember that he's our provider. He's our provision. And, when, for me, it's this business deal, it falls short. It looks like it's not going to come through, or it's going to at least take time. God goes, I still got you. I'm still providing. I'm your provider. These other companies are not. In Isaiah 43, it says, I'm the Lord who opened the way through the waters. He's the one that provided a way through the Red Sea. He's the one that provided a way across the Jordan River, where they walked across on dry land. Proverbs 3:6, he will show you which path to take. All right, we love the miracles. We just don't like what happens leading up to them. When God parts the sea, you still have to actually walk through it. You still have to take a step. You still have to make moves. You still have to move in the direction that he's calling you to. Remember, if he's going to direct your path, if he's making a way, then you still have to follow the way. You still have to move in that direction. That's what we need to focus our hearts on, is moving in that direction. In Ezekiel 47:9, life will flourish wherever this water flows. So let's pray and ask God to flow into our lives. Let's ask God to flow into our hearts. Let's ask God to provide the provision that he has for us, the things that he's going to do, the things that he's going to move in, the things that we're saying, hey, I trust you to be my provider. I trust you to bring that water. So bring that water into my life. Breathe life into me. If you are living water, if you provide living water, he told the woman, this married woman, like, you'll drink from this and you'll never thirst. Then that's what we need. We need him to be our source. We need him to be that water in our lives and in our marriages and in our jobs and in everything. So when God is starting small, when God is starting to just provide small, then, and he's providing a path, follow the path, and then know that he's going to show up in major ways and continue to make sure you're taken care of. He's not going to leave you out there. He's not going to leave you out there to die. He's not going to, he's going to take care of you. All right. So make room, dig your trenches, clear out any junk, and then follow the path that God is putting you on. That's what we're on. And then when he provides water, when he provides that substance, when he's taking care of you, remember to take care of the people around you. Love people, be a light, be a joy, make sure people are taken care of. All right? That's what we on. We outside. So continue to pray for people. Continue to take care of people. We still got a lot of people that are dealing with cancer and other issues. My shoulder hurts like crazy. I got to go get it checked out. Hopefully it's not a tear in a tendon, because it's a tendon something. I'm just hoping it's not a tear. So we'll see what that be like. My kids are up now. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Keep pushing. Keep doing that thing. And I'll catch up with y'all. Y'all need anything, holler at me. Hit the comments, DMs, all that stuff. Call my phone. We outside. All right. Peace. Yeah.